Hello, this is Wayne with Normal Prepping, and today I'm going to share with you one of my emergency kits that I like to keep in my truck. And I think this you'll really enjoy this one because I believe, well, my guess is it probably has some gear in it that you may not have and you may find useful. So let me start on the outside. This is how the kit is. I have it together like this, and I put it in the back seat of my truck. What I do, to start off, is I have a carabiner. And on my get home bags or any bags that I put in my truck, I always put them this around the seat belt. That way, if you're ever in an accident or rollover, you're not getting beat up and destroyed by your gear that's here to save you. So that's always the first thing. I always like to point that out. And we're going to start on the outside. On the outside here, I have clamps, or I have these straps, the ratchet straps, and these ones are 1 by 10, and I like these kind that click and they lock. And these ones I use, but I like to keep them on here too. It not only holds this down, but they're handy if you need them to grab them real quick. And these ones are really nice, and they have a quick release on them, which is kind of fun. So they work great. So I have 2 of those. That holds everything in place. And everything I have here is on, we have a link in the description. So if you want to pick it up, we have a link in the description. You can get all this. Okay, then on top, I have, the next thing is my toolkit. And this is before we get into the bag, or into the case. And the first thing I have on here, and I have a number of these in my vehicle in different areas, in my get-home bag, in my glove box. This is a USB chargeable headlamp. And I really like these. These are just really basic. They're not super high-end, but they work great. I mean, I really like them. So we have, these are also the ones we have on our bed too, by the way. So in here I have one of these rollout kits. And I love these things because they're just compact. And on a side note, before I get into this, if any of you know of a first aid version of this, would you put that in the comments? Because I'm looking for one of these, a good one that has some kind of compartments for doing first aid. Side note. Okay, on the inside, these are my tools that I chose that I need. I don't really need to go over these because I think this is very, personal on what you think you need for your vehicle. But one thing I want to point out that I have that I don't see a lot of people have, and that is a saw. A saw is really, really good to have. You should always have one. And I keep it in here so I know where it's at. So that's inside my bag. But these roll-up bags are really nice. I really like this thing. It has these little pockets too to put, these things this is another thing people don't have. And I think my dad used to use these, and they're jumpers. So if you have a wire or something that is, broken and you can't, you can't solder them, you can jump them with these. They have little alligator clips, and they are really nice. I don't think I have a link for these, but you can pick them up or make them. But see, these are really handy. I learned these from my dad years ago, back in the 70s. He used to use these for a lot of things, for my snowmobile and stuff. I recommend getting these. And you don't see people use these. They're really handy. And that's what I like about it. It has a little pocket for stuff. And of course I have another lighter in here, but generally this is just my tools. And like I say, choose what you feel that you need for your situation. Now let's break into this box. This box, I tell you, I don't know if I'm sure you guys have dealt with this. Trying to find a case that's the right size, that doesn't put you in the poorhouse, that has what you need. And I have been looking, and I found this one because like I say, this goes in the back seat. I didn't want one that takes up too much room. And it seems like the ones I find are really big or they're really small. And this is considered, they call this an ammo case. It's from, I think it's MTM Case Guard brand, made in the USA, which is good. And of course I have a link to this. I really like this. It's sturdy. It's a good sturdy case and has handles. I was very impressed when I bought this. So now let's break this open. This is where the magic happens. This is what I'm talking about. This is This isn't like for bug out. This is a kind of a emergency kit for your vehicle. And this is what I use. This is what I take with me when I go backpacking, because this is for stuff when you don't have AAA. You need to do it on your own. And it's also good to have this in your home. So even if you think you're going to be driving around in AAA area where you can just call somebody, well, it's good to have. It's always good to have backup. And if things go bad, some of the things in here, which I don't think most people have, will definitely help you when if things go bad. I mean, and you'll need them. Okay, the first thing I have in here is a safety vest. I'm really into safety, and I think it's always good to be visible. So the safety vest. The next thing I have in here is a duct tape. I always have duct tape or flex tape. I have flex tape. I've talked about flex tape. Flex tape is duct tape on steroids, excuse me. And this is just duct tape. I have the flex tape also in another kit. But I always have something like this. Almost every kit I keep this in. It's amazing what you use this for, as you well know. The next thing as I dig in here is I have a little raincoat. Just a basic little raincoat in case it's raining and I got to work on my vehicle by the side of the road. I want to have a raincoat. Really good to have. And these are another thing I have. I can't tell you how many things I have around the house, around the car, everywhere, because they're on the floor of our cars right now, because that way if something happens, you just grab them. Okay, now let's see what we got here. This right here is a pump for pumping up your tires. And I was pretty happy with it. And I tried it out in my truck. I took out pretty much all the air. I got down like, about 8 pounds. And then I pumped it up. It wasn't super fast, but it got it done. It also has a light on the end, which is nice. And then what it has here is this is for the cigarette lighter, which I wouldn't recommend. What I do is you plug this in like this, bam, and then you hook it to your batteries. And then what I did with my truck, because I have a gauge in my truck, so I knew the pull on the battery, is I left my truck running, because when I did, I saw it was putting a little bit of a pull on the battery. So I recommend myself, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to leave the truck running as I do this, so I don't have to get my tire fixed. The next thing I know, I got to jump my truck. So I have that, and this thing worked great. And it has a gauge on top, a little handle. And it fit in here, which is nice. And that's one thing on the side I want to let you guys think about. I always go to backpacking. You know how I am. Well, the trick to finding like a backpack or anything, get your stuff first and then find, something that it'll fit in, Don't buy the box, because I have so many boxes or cases where I bought something, but my stuff didn't fit. And this one, I purposely left the toolkit on the outside, because that's something I grab. I didn't really want it locked up. Otherwise, I would have got a little bit bigger. So there's that. Now, the next thing I have in here, and this is also along the line of tires, and this is one of the things that I think a lot of people don't have. This, again, reminds me of my dad. And I haven't used one of these since probably the 1980s. And at that time, I used them quite a few times. And this right here, is a tire repair kit. They work great, and it has everything you need right here. It even has the pliers, and it also has a tire gauge. It's a really simple process. I recommend. Last thing you want to do is be stuck on the road and reading the directions. If you watch a quick YouTube video on this where somebody does it, I'm sure there are millions of them, you'll see how easy it is and how it makes sense, and you can knock it out really quick. So I recommend when you buy one of these, make sure you learn how to use it before you're stranded, because it has things you probably won't even need in here, but it's a full kit. And I love this thing. Hopefully I'll never have to use it, but if I do, and I actually still remember how, because I had a car that I used to have issues with and I had to do that. So now let's see what else I got in this box. And when this box, when it comes from the, when you buy it, it comes with 2 other of these dividers. So you can put dividers in it this way, you know, however you want. Because like I say, it's meant to be an ammo box. So it has these little dividers. This worked perfect for my situation. Okay, now the next thing I got in here that I'll pull out. Oh, I got all kinds of stuff in here. I'm gonna pull this out first before then. Is, oops, a tow rope. And a good tow rope, a tow strap. I'm old school, I call them tow ropes even though they're straps. A tow strap. So I got a tow strap in here in case you gotta, you know, get pulled out or something. And I've used this actual strap to pull people. And then the next thing I have in here is my jumper. And this is a nice one too. It's for, I don't know if you guys have seen these. They're really getting popular. I have actually 2 of these in my truck just in case I burn one out. But what you do, and this one also has a light on it right there. But what you do is you take it, not that, tangled that mess, and you just plug it in. I'm not going to do it now, but you plug it in. You hook this to your battery if you have a dead battery, and you just jump it. And then this bad boy, I've used it. I've been stuck in the middle of godforsaken nowhere, and I had this thing, and I'm like, baby, you better work, you know, because I'm in trouble if you don't. And it did. It worked. I've actually had to use it a couple times. I used to have an issue with my truck, and the battery would run dry. So now that's why now I have 2 of these in case one doesn't work. And you can also, it has on the back of this one also has you can plug in USB in there, which brings me to the next. And this is for charging. You can charge it with USB. You can also use it to run equipment or charge something. So inside of that, this is the charger for it to plug it into the house. It's a lot better to do it in your house. It used to have a cigarette. Yeah, it does. It has a cigarette lighter. Those things are worthless. They have hardly any power. They don't put much. And then I also keep a little kit in here, and it has the different USB. You know, it has the mini and it has the C connector, so I can charge my phone. I can charge somebody else's phone. So if you're stuck somewhere, you can charge your phone, you know, with this. So this is my kit, and I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with the setup. Before this was just in a box, now it's in this. I'm happy. And if you want to see another video on another kit I did an emergency kit. I will put the link right up here, and that one is a game changer too, but that one's for emergencies. I have a few of those, but I'll put a link at the end for that. And any of you people who are new watching this, welcome, and I wish you a good day, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.